This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. A day game in downtown St. Louis in Busch Stadium. The Cardinals wrap up their interleague series. It's the Minnesota Twins and the St. Louis Cardinals. Welcome to the broadcast booth at Busch Stadium. That's Jim Edmonds, the Cardinals Hall of Famer. Jim Hayes is here. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Adam Wainwright is on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals today, and he'll be throwing, what a surprise, to Yadier Molina, and the numbers just keep piling up.
Yeah, they do. I mean, this guy, when he showed up on the scene, he didn't take no for an answer. He worked his way in the starting lineup and kept playing and playing. He will not come out of the lineup as we've been seeing over the last couple years, sore, beat up, and hurt. Take a look at those numbers, Danny.
It's incredible what he's done in Cardinals history. It's the Jimmy John's freaky fresh take. And he's one of the all-time greats to ever wear the birds on the bat. And with the start yesterday, it was number 2,000. Earlier this season, it was his 2,000th game as a catcher. Well, yesterday, his 2,000th start to join Ivan Rodriguez, Carlton Fisk, Bob Boone on that list. So from that great catcher, Yadier Molina, to another, a big day for Ted Simmons. The Cardinals officially retired number 23 yesterday. Statue dedication. A closer look at that is coming up on Bally Sports. Statue Simba outside in the Plaza of Champions here at Busch Stadium. It's game number 3, the Cardinals and Twins. Michael Pineda gets the call for Minnesota today. And for St. Louis, the veteran Adam Wainwright getting better with age.
Yeah, you can look at the ERA when he first came up, and it's been amazing. But you look at 15 through 20, he was hurt. He had trouble, but he kept going out there and trying to pitch. But now, at this age, 2021, he is back on top of his game, and he's the horse, the ace, and the guy you can count on every time he goes out there.
Mike Schilt making an announcement today that on Tuesday night, John Lester will get the start in Game 1 against the Braves. Jay Happ will go in Game 2, and then in Game 3, it's Wade LeBlanc. A trio there, maybe long in the tooth, but a lot of experience and a lot of wins along the way. The Cardinals and the Minnesota Twins. St. Louis took Game 1. Minnesota took Game 2, and Game 3 comes your way next. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Beautiful day here in St. Louis. Taking a game wherever you may be. Wave those flags. How about that view of the ballpark from across the street at Ballpark Village? Yadier Molina behind the plate, and a chance to make some history today at the plate, as he is one hit away from breaking a tie with he and his good buddy Albert Pujols on the Cardinals all-time hits list. Adam Wainwright will get the start for the Cardinals this afternoon. Last time out against Cleveland Tuesday night, the road game, 7 innings, 4 hits, and a 4-2 St. Louis win. And he has been awfully good here in 2021.
Yeah, he's been doing a really nice job. You take a look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal, and same stuff. We say it every time. He's got the kitchen sink, but he just seems to get better with age. He knows what he's doing. He can move the ball around. Starting to turn into a little bit of a little Greg Maddux, where he can run the ball in on a righty, cut the ball from the inside back over the plate on a righty, and do the exact same thing against the left-hander, which is cut the ball inside and then throw the eraser X, which is throwing it at your hip and running it back over the plate for a strike. So a little bit of gamesmanship from old Adam Wainwright.
There's a look at Rocco Baldelli, and the Twins come in with a record of 44-61. Kepler at the top of his lineup. Rooker, then Polanco, Arise, Garver, Sano, who has been hot, Larnach, Simmons, and Michael Pineda. Max Kepler this season hitting .209 with 14 home runs, and he's driven in 40. Mike Schilt and the Cardinals, with the loss last night, they're back to 500, 19th time this year. They've gone back and forth with that 500 mark. They're 52 and 52. Today, the 4th start since the All-Star break for Waino.
Something to watch, Danny. He's thrown breaking pitches in his last 2 starts 72% of the time for the first pitch to a hitter. Not the lead off of the game, but first pitch to a hitter, off-speed pitches 70% of the time in the last 2 starts. Interesting. Pitching backwards a little bit.
There's a 1-0 pitch to Max Kepler with a shift on the right side of the infield. Check swing and a foul ball, 1-1.
That's the thing about Adam Wainwright is the short arm. Even though the velocity's not there, the short arm and the breaking ball kind of dies on you a little bit. But you start to hit against him on reputation, and if he does pitch backwards, it throws you off quickly. He's not like he's just serving pitches up down the middle.
The 1-1. Well, for Adam Wainwright, his one and only start against the Twins, June 26th, all the way back in 2009. And at that time, he was only 27 years old. Went 7 innings, gave up a couple of runs in that start. And there's a strikeout to start this game of Kepler. Cardinal defense with Edmundo Sosa at short. Around the horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Arenado at third. Edmund Goldie on the infield. Molina behind the plate. O'Neill, Bader, Carlson in the outfield. Rooker, the left fielder, 8 games since his most recent call-up, 3 home runs and a pair of doubles. And now a base hit into center.
Hey, what he's a good-looking young hitter. He can swing the bat. I like the way he stands up there. He's not afraid. Take a look right here. His bat gets to the zone in a hurry.
They feel they can build around him and also the right fielder, Larnach, who's batting 7th in today's lineup. Rooker was 1 for 5 last night and a 1-out base hit here in the top of the first, and it brings in Jorge Polanco. He was 2 for 5, couple of runs scored and a double last night. 4th straight multi-hit game. He has 6 in his last 10. Outfield is straight away, and that's strike 1. A modest 5-game hitting streak for Polanco. And they're running into a pitcher that in his last 9 starts, Adam Wainwright is 5-1. Fly ball lifted to left. Tyler O'Neill under it to make the catch. 2 away. Luis Arise, the third baseman. So no Josh Donaldson this weekend, dealing with a leg issue. Byron Buxton has been hurt, so we're not seeing him either. Those are 2 big bats and players not in the lineup for Minnesota.
Yeah, you got to like that if you're Adam Wainwright, especially 2 less guys are a headache during the course of a game. Take a look earlier in that pitch that just got popped up by Polanco. Yachty was ready to snap throw behind him at first base over there to Rooker. So Yachty's bouncing around back there already, ready to go.
Well, today game number 105 for the Cardinals as we turn the calendar. August 1st in this 2021 season. Hit the other way, backing up O'Neill, and he'll make the catch. So the Twins strand a runner. Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first, and there is no score on Bally Sports. It's been better in the month of August over the last decade, and that is the Dodgers. Cardinals will have to continue that trend if they want to get back into this. And the lineup for Mike Schultz Club: Dylan Carlson at the top, and then Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Tyler O'Neill, Yadier Molina, Harrison Bader, Tommy Edman, Edmundo Sosa, and the pitcher batting 9th, Adam Wainwright, as Carlson makes his way to the dish. Michael Pineda, big guy, 6'7", 280 pounds, from the Dominican. There was a lot of thought that he would be traded during this deadline by Minnesota. And a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Well, the size of him, you wouldn't think that the average velocity would be just 90 miles an hour, but 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and a slider and a changeup, and that's it. For a starter, that's very unusual, especially in this day and age. Just 3 pitches to worry about. He keeps the ball down, moves the ball around.
The 0-1 Carlson. Fouled back. Jimmy's Toyota key to the game.
Well, I think that basically for the hitters, the St. Louis Cardinals today, they're going to be aggressive at the plate. Aggressive, especially in the strike zone. This is the kind of guy, when you see the velocity down and just slider changeup, you can be a little bit more aggressive, unless he shows the changeup is devastating. But I'm gonna go out there and be super aggressive and try to drive the ball up the middle early in the count.
So the Twins said goodbye to Nelson Cruz, Jose Barrios, Jay Happ now with the Cardinals, Hansel Robles, and left Michael Pineda, who is a free agent after this year. And the 0-2 on the ground right side, base hit for Dylan Carlson.
Thinking about 2 right there, right out of the gate. Good job by Dylan. That's what I like about Dylan. That's not a double, right? But the shift is on, and the second baseman and the shortstop are going into the outfield, and the outfielders are coming. The third baseman had to bust. So he sees that now as he's getting a little bit older and a little bit more used to playing every day. He knows there's no one at second base right there. So worth running hard, taking a chance, and then you break it down.
Paul Goldschmidt picked up hit number 1,500 on Friday night of his career. And he pulls it foul. Michael Pineda began with Seattle in their organization, and at that time he was a shortstop at 6'7", then converted to a pitcher. Twins, his third organization, came up in 2011 with the Mariners, traded to the Yankees, parts of 5 years with New York, and now in his 4th season with Minnesota. A ball and a strike. Last start took a no decision, couple of runs, 6 hits, 5 innings. And that was against the Tigers. Against the Cardinals, he has 1 start and 1 appearance, and that was April of 2016. Mentioned the Cardinals with a couple of new lefties in their rotation. Prior to today's game, John Lester was activated. He'll make his St. Louis debut Tuesday against Atlanta. Jake Woodford, last night's starter, option to AAA Memphis.
I was wondering about that. Can you trade for a guy like that? I guess you could get a day or 2 of leeway, right, with maybe travel time as far as not having to put him on the roster, or would he automatically go on the roster? So, we talk about, you could be, Mike could be the master of manipulating a roster with the up and down and the using the IL and stuff. I was curious to see when they activate or when they have to activate guys. I have to look that up, but that'd be a nice little thing. If you knew a guy wasn't going to pitch for 4 or 5 days, you can get a fresh arm or something.
High fly ball into right center. So Lester was not on the roster yesterday, and he wanted to spend time with his son, who was celebrating a birthday, and then arrived today and activated. So today is the actual day that he is on the roster. Happ was activated Friday, so he will go on Tuesday. And there's a look at Jay Happ. He'll go in game 2 against the Atlanta Braves. New look Atlanta Braves. They were busy at the deadline. Currently trailing the Milwaukee Brewers at home 2-0 in their ball game. There's Nolan Arenado. Taken just a bit low. Arenado is 5 for his last 8. And these season numbers going into August are pretty much what he's been doing for his entire career.
That's saying something too, because I know from personally talking to him, he is not super excited about his numbers right now. And he feels like he's getting beat too many times. As you look at him right here.
This is the Indeed player resume. Last 10 games picked it up.
He has definitely picked it up. And this is something, even over the All-Star break, I know after the All-Star game he worked on his own while everyone else was at the beach and doing things. So this is a player, man. I love talking to him. He is gung-ho. His brother Jonah is like his right-hand man when it comes to watching his hitting, and they break it down together a lot. I spent some time talking to him on the phone, also his brother Jonah, and they're great, man. Jonah played in the minor leagues for 7 years, so he knows himself and knows his brother and knows baseball, and it was quite an interesting conversation to sit there and talk to both of these guys. But like I said, in the All-Star break, when he got home, he went straight back to work. Was not happy with where he was at.
Count of 2 balls and 1 strike. And August, typically his best month of his career. 49 home runs in this month, most of any month. And his average is the best in the month of August as well. The 2-1. Hammered down the left field line, but hooked it foul. Cardinals are going to have to go on a run, and this month 27 games on the schedule. 22 of the 27 are against teams below 500, and we're going to see a lot of the Pirates and the Royals. 10 of the 27 against Pittsburgh, 6 of the 27 against Kansas City. And there's a look at the wild card. The Cardinals 6.5 out.
Well, sometimes you have to look at how you're going to get into the playoffs. Doesn't matter how you do it, you just got to do it.
Runner goes, check swing and a strike, and the call at second is safe because the ball was dropped.
I don't know if I like that right there. From the hitter, especially if I'm Nolan Arenado or I'm the manager and I'm watching Nolan Arenado hit. I don't know if I want my runner running right there, but good jump by Dylan to steal second. Just don't want to distract a guy like Arenado from hitting.
Tyler O'Neill with a runner at second base and Dylan Carlson. We've seen pitching staffs really expand the zone here recently on O'Neill. Now he'll have to make the adjustment to bring it back in the zone and do that damage.
Oh, it's all about, like, you know, the All-Star break. It can kill some guys, and then you go after the All-Star break and you got a couple off days. So now it's like you're searching back for what you were locked in with. And on the other hand, it can help guys rest up and get back going again. And it can do the opposite for guys that are hot. So you kind of have to figure out how to get comfortable again, how to slow it down. We talked about Bader on Friday, how he's so calm at the plate now, but on Friday night he was wiggling a little bit. And I talked with him after the game, and he said, yeah, I just wasn't feeling comfortable yet. And even though it's your home ballpark, sometimes when you come home and you get into a different situation and you have a couple days off, it just gets a little uncomfortable. Even your feet just get in the box in a different ballpark, even though it's home, and it doesn't feel the same. And so you start thinking, and that's when you start searching.
It was Dylan Carlson's first stolen base of the year.
That's surprising.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Tyler O'Neill.
But on the other hand, you know, he's now hitting in front of the horses, so I don't think you don't want to get thrown out on the bases when you're hitting in front of Goldie, Arenado, and O'Neill. So that might be another reason why he's not running a whole lot.
Well, May, 42% of the pitches seen in the strike zone, 39% in June. In July, for Tyler O'Neill, just 35%. So going to have to be a little patient.
They're getting tired of watching the ball go over the fence.
Yep.
And that also can become a problem, especially if a younger hitter, we're right back going to, are they pitching to me or are they not pitching to me? And are they going to throw me strikes today or are they not going to throw me strikes today? And I'll tell you what, that's one of the hardest things to do as a player, is how to learn that scenario and how to still be aggressive and also kind of try and figure out what they're trying to do to you each day.
Cardinals in average, third from the bottom in the National League. They've drawn the fewest walks, yet struck out the second fewest times.
Oof.
Popped up. Polanco makes the catch. Cardinals will strand a runner. 1 inning in the books, and there is no score on this Sunday afternoon. Third member of our crew is with us, and that's Jim Hayes. Jimmy, what do you have?
Danny, the Cards added a couple of arms before the trade deadline, getting Lester and Happ. They also have some arms getting closer to making a return from injury. Jack Flaherty, start with him, has an oblique issue. Will make his second rehab start with Memphis today. 45 to 55 pitches for Jack. Miles Michaelis makes his third rehab start on Tuesday with Springfield. He's expected to throw about 55 pitches. Jordan Hicks recovering from an elbow issue, still playing catch but with more intensity. And Dakota Hudson, also dealing with an elbow issue, is actually ahead of where Hicks is right now, according to Mike Schilt. Dakota has been throwing bullpens in Florida. Asked if we could see Dakota back with the Cardinals this season, Mike Schilt said, I can't rule it out.
Interesting. So you might get him to get a appearance or two. Who knows how many, but
I'll tell you,
certainly would ease tensions going into an off season for a pitcher coming off of Tommy John. And this is Mitch Garver.
Yeah, for sure. I love Dakota Hudson, and I've got a nice relationship with him. I feel like I haven't seen him in 5 years. It's crazy, just in that little window that he's been missing, how much, we talked about him so much and the potential he had, and all of a sudden you don't see him for a while, and it's like, is he still around? So hopefully he gets healthy and he can come back and make a little bit of an impact, because he definitely has that impact slider.
The Chevy pitch tracks and the base hit.
Just a hanging cutter right here. Didn't throw it where he wanted to, and you could see, I love the reactions. As soon as he lets it go, you can kind of see him tilting his head a little bit, and then it gets hit.
Miguel Sano 2 for 4, a double, walk, run batted in last night. He's reached base multiple times in each of the last 5 games. Comes in swinging a hot bat, and we know he can do some damage. He's got 17 home runs. Curveball and taken low. It's not getting that low strike. Nick Miley is the home plate umpire. Alfonso Marquez, crew chief at first. Lance Barrett at second, and Carlos Torres down at third.
Yeah, that low strike is key for him too. It's something that he's going to need to get, especially with the breaking ball.
And he brought that up just a bit and gets the strike.
Well, normally for him too, the breaking ball is going to be a swing and miss pitch or a weak ground ball pitch, so he needs to just keep that down and not worry about the strike zone. You adjust to the strike zone too much and you start getting hit, and you just have to keep trying to throw the ball down there, and hopefully the hitters will just make adjustments and start swinging.
Inside, Adam Wainwright with career wins against 25 of the 29 major league teams that he has faced. He has not beaten the Twins, the Orioles, the Yankees, and Rangers. So the Twins could be checked off that list here this afternoon. Short lead, the 2-1, now 2-2. And in that start, back when he was 27 against Minnesota, now you fast forward to 2021. There's nobody that he faced that day that's still in Major League Baseball. Hard to imagine.
That is hard to imagine.
The 2-2. Fly ball into the gap in left center. Garver is hustling towards third. Dug out by Tyler O'Neill. It'll be a double for Sano. Runners at second and third and nobody out.
110 miles an hour off the bat. This guy's got some pop.
Right fielder Trevor Larnach. And Sano keeps on going. He has been really good in this series.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you got to get the ball way in and way down or way away. And he seems like he's pretty hot right now. You know me, when you start locating those guys that are hot in the lineup, it's time to I'm going to go around this guy. I'll take my chances with the next guy.
Larnach hitting 180 with runners in scoring position. Just 2 RBI in his last 17 games. He can change that. Shift on the right side. The infield is back. Arenado even with the bag at third. Well off the line. Curve ball and strike one. Minnesota is 6 for 12 in the series with runners in scoring position. Last night was just an ugly game all the way around. And the 0-1 pitch. Cardinals will have Molina, Bader, Edman due up in their half of the second inning, with Yachty trying to make history and pass Albert Pujols on the Cardinals all-time hits list. One. Missed outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Good pitch right there. Good try. The thing about Adams' curveball is it does go pretty much straight over the top and down. He's not a guy that can, if he can drop down a little bit, he's not a guy that can kind of throw it around the zone. It's going to stay out there and down. That seems to be his pitch today right now so far, that changeup. He's got a really good changeup today, and that's something he's going to have to keep using. This is a second really nice changeup right there on the outer half to a left-handed hitter.
2-2 the count. On a muggy day here in St. Louis. The next by Waino. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Second strikeout for Adam Wainwright. So you have the 8th place hitter here in Andrelton Simmons, who came into this series 1 for his last 24, but has 4 hits in the first 2 games and a big strikeout for Waino. Simmons against Wainwright is 0 for 10 in his career. Infield is in for St. Louis. And there's strike one. Talk about it all the time. This could be a pick-me-up type inning, not only for Waino, but the squad, if they can somehow get out of this.
Well, this is a spot right here. I don't, you know, he's hot. He's the 8th hitter. Pitchers behind him. You still, I think, right here attack and make pitches. Maybe not throw him some fastballs, but throw him some strikes or around the strike zone.
Off the end of the bat and a base hit into center field. They're going to wave in Sano, to the surprise, I believe, of Bader, and a run scores to make it 2-0.
Yeah, you can't take that for granted. Harry knows that now. He realized it right away. I think he got the ball so early that he just expected them not to run. But this is the thing, though, as a player.
You got to understand that the pitcher's on deck.
Yeah, but it's not even that. You know what you got to do? He got a terrible jump, and he probably saw that. But you know what you do? You don't look at the runner. You look at the third base coach.
If you see the third base, because you can look at the third base coach because he's always standing in the same spot. He should be out by 15 feet. And Harry, even if they let that ball go in the cut, he's still probably going to be out. That's how badly he was going to be out. But you can see Yachty not happy, everyone not happy, Harry not happy. That's just one of those plays as a young man you sometimes take for granted, and you just have to reset yourself and go back with all your keys and say, okay, that can't happen again. And this is, look right here. He knows. That's just part of the game you just cannot take for granted.
Pineda puts it in play. Arenado to second. Oh, my goodness. An incredible double play started by Nolan Arenado.
Who throws that ball?
He knows Pineda's running. He takes the chance, and it pays off, and they turn 2. Wow. 3 in this series with runners in scoring position. The 8th place hitter for Minnesota, and he drives in 2 in the top of the second. She brings in Garver and Sano, and it is a 2-0 lead. And now it's Yadier Molina. A couple of hits last night, and with those 2 hits, he is tied with Albert Pujols, 4th all-time in Cardinals history in terms of base hits, 2,073. So looking to move into 4th place all alone. And last night, 2,000 starts at catcher. So it was a big night for Yadier Molina. He's still 1 double shy of 396, which would tie Hall of Famer Gabby Hartnett, 5th all-time among primary catchers in Major League history. Pineda allowed a leadoff base hit to Dylan Carlson. He was left stranded back in the bottom of the 1st. The first pitch to Yadier Molina is a strike.
You know, the other thing I was thinking about with the Bader play too, and that's a situation for me in a day game where I don't think they hit on the field, and you haven't done the same amount of getting ready as you do for a normal game. I'm letting that ball go just to see if my arm's feeling good that day.
And the 0-1 hit in the air towards shallow right, and the catch is made by the second baseman Jorge Polanco. Max Kepler in center, Brent Rooker in left, Trevor Larnach in right. Round the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Arise, Simmons, Polanco, Sano on the infield, Mitch Garver behind the plate.
Well, take a look at this outfield defense. They were just playing Yachty like Mark was hitting. Mark McGuire, that is.
They're pretty deep here for Harrison Bader. Speaking of Big Mac, it was this date, 1997, Cardinals would acquire Big Mac. So
that was an accidental lead-in for you.
It was late on the 31st. They got him leading into the 1st of August. And here's an 0-1 pitch. And Bader gets underneath it, pops it up. Simmons with the catch.
Well, do you have any highlights for us, Danny, or anything? I mean, come on.
Roll the tape.
All right. What do you got for me today?
A lot of home runs. 220 home runs in 545 games for the Cardinals. The Cardinals gave up Eric Ludwig, T.J. Matthews, Blake Stein. They would combine to win 30 games for the A's. That was it for Big Mac.
Mark won 30 games all by himself.
First couple of months it seemed that way.
And by the way, I did get a little answer on that. You have 72 hours to report and obviously to put the traded player on the roster. So thank you, Chris Turno.
There's Tommy Edman with 2 outs and nobody on. Shift on the right side of the infield. 1 ball and 1 strike. Edman in his last 10 games, a home run and 4 doubles. Could not extend his hitting streak yesterday to 10, so it ends at 9. And the final couple of months in his young career have been good months. His better baseball at the plate.
Good changeup right there.
292 in August and September. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up left side and out of play.
You can see that Pineda's one of those guys that's kind of like the typical tall arm slinger a little bit, where he can get that same arm action on the fastball and the changeup. And he actually looked like he could even accelerate his arm right there and throw the changeup. So that's how he gets by. You also can see that he can throw a little sinker, and I think that first pitch on the outside corner to Tommy Edman was a little bit of a cutter, just kind of stayed out there, didn't run off the plate. So he's got a lot of weapons, even though he just throws 3 pitches, supposedly. I mean, he's above 500 for his career. He's 57 and 51, so he's doing something right.
Well, teams are looking at him to either supply a fourth or fifth starter or even go to the bullpen, which he's done a bunch of in his career.
I mean, he can eat some innings up when he's
Absolutely.
healthy, too.
The 3-2 pitch. Grounder hit to the right side, gloved by Polanco, and they get Edman. Interleague play here in St. Louis. Some Twins fans at Busch, and it's 2-0. Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the T-Mobile coverage cam on this Sunday afternoon with Jim Edmonds, Jim Hayes. I'm Dan McLaughlin. And it's a 2-0 score in favor of the Twins. Kepler, Rooker, and Polanco in the top of the third against Adam Wainwright. Very special day around the ballpark yesterday with the official retirement of the number of Ted Simmons and dedication of his statue just outside the ballpark. Hit down the right field line and out of play.
And that's where he wants that breaking ball.
So here it was yesterday. Ted Simmons being honored. The Plaza Champions, the unveiling of his statue.
Look at you right there. Looking all dapper.
I was more interested in Ted and the statue, to be honest with you.
I know, but people are staring at you because you look so good.
Ooh, he just held on, battling the sun, and the catch made by Tyler O'Neill. I'll tell you what, Jimmy, it took way too long for Ted to get his due, but he does not have an ounce of bitterness about how this has come about. I've talked to him a number of times prior to what's going to happen.
I've never heard him say a bad word ever.
Yeah, I mean, next month he'll go into baseball's Hall of Fame, and he was never bitter. And he said analytics is what got him into the Hall of Fame. Batted 300 or better 7 times, 20 or more home runs in 6 seasons. How about this one? 193 hits in 1975. As a catcher, the major league record for hits by a catcher in a single season. And he played 150 or more games. It was either 7 or 8 different seasons in the heat and turf of St. Louis.
You know,
it's incredible.
It's funny knowing him and not knowing him very well or not at all when I played, and now getting to know him more. You would think that he was just a nobody. He comes in and he is gracious and simple and easygoing and happy to be here. And yet, when you look at those numbers, you're thinking he should be walking around with his chest out, you know, and being the guy. And that just goes to show how much credit is due to him. Like you said, never being bitter. You never hear a bad word out of his mouth. He is just such a great guy. And you know what? Congratulations all the way around to him, because of all of the accolades and all of the things that he's getting now, and to be that kind of a person, it is hard to find that this day and age, especially maybe ever. I love him.
Brent Rooker is at the plate, 2-2. He's a switch hitter. His career average was .285. 8-time All-Stars, 6 of those with St. Louis. And the 2-2 pitch fought off. Little flare into right field. Dylan Carlson with the catch. And for people that don't know, then he went on to have a tremendous career in front offices and a scout. This was the first year he was telling me that he is out of baseball. He's
really
not in baseball in any capacity. But to your point, he would be showing up at press boxes. That's a Hall of Famer now.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even know he was there, scouting and drawing up the reports and the various things. He lives here in St. Louis, loves it here, and now headed to Cooperstown. Congratulations, Ted Simmons. A strike to Jorge Polanco.
I was trying to think about this the other day, and I don't know, to be honest with you. Obviously, Cooperstown is the greatest honor that you could ever get, but I think that statue is, I don't know. If someone asked me which one I'd want, it'd be a tough decision. That's pretty incredible, to be honest with you. Right here in St. Louis, where you played, and in front of all these fans, you get to see it every day. Pretty awesome.
Simba, 2-0. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Busch Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Sosa, Wainwright, and Carlson. Edmundo Sosa hitting .242, but much better, well above .300 here at Busch Stadium. And getting the start today at shortstop with DeYoung on the bench. Strike one.
Those are the pitches I'm talking about right there. You can see that ball. That ball does not run back. He keeps it out there. And then when he throws it on the outer half to the right, the left-hander, he'll keep it out there.
Shallow left, that will drop for a base hit. Brings Adam Wainwright to the plate. Fought it off just enough, and a little flare into left field and a base hit for Sosa.
It might be like a little bit of a changeup right there, so you slow down, and it was a little bit harder than you thought.
I get to MC all these different events, Jimmy, and it was great. Yesterday, Bill DeWitt Jr., Bill DeWitt III, John Mozeliak, Harry Weber was there, who has done all the sculptures, the Plaza of Champions. Obviously, Ted, his family were there, and Rick Hummel gave a speech. Rick covered Teddy in all those years, longtime writer, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and gave just a terrific speech. Well done, Commish. Short lead at first. Waino squares and takes a ball. "50 years of covering baseball, sports writer, long time at the Post-Dispatch, one of the great people that you'll find in our game. He himself a Hall of Famer. Rick Hummel, the commish.
That's awesome. Gosh.
Waino drops down a bunt. Sosa to second. Commish wrapped up his speech telling a story about Ted Simmons, where he had an issue with the umpire. 2 strikes were called on him, and he hits a 2-run bomb. And before Simmons can even get to the plate, rounding the bases, he turns to the umpire just about right when he's ready to step on the plate to tip his helmet, as if to say, you know, you missed him, but I still got you. And Commish said, as you tipped your helmet that night, I tipped my hat to you. And it's been long overdue. And this great day to dedicate this statue. And that's how he wrapped it up. It was a great story.
It is a great story. And I bet you the commission's got millions of them.
Oh, yeah. Dylan Carlson. And a strike on the outside corner. Base hit to right field. A stolen base, his first of the year. Left stranded back in inning number 1. Carlson with 96 hits. Edman 104. The switch hitters for the Cardinals. And the 0-1 pitch to Dylan. Fly ball, shallow left, and this ball will get down. Sosa was about halfway. Now rounding third. He will score. It's a double for Dylan Carlson, and that makes it a 2-1 Minnesota lead.
Well, that's just great base running all the way around. Both guys. Dylan Carlson just keeps on running. He knows the intention's going to go to Sosa. The ball's short into left field. Their outfield is playing so ridiculously deep. I would be fuming if I was the pitcher right now, but watch this. He just knows. That's such a great job right there by Sosa. You just take it in your own hands. Ball's right there in front of you. And look at Dylan the whole way. They didn't even slow down. Great job, boys.
Here's Goldschmidt. A base hit could tie it. Fly to center, first time up.
That's the stuff that's so hard to teach. Those intangibles, those base running instincts. Instincts are impossible to teach. You just got to know that the ball goes up. You get a feel for it. It's not going to get caught. you don't take too many chances because you know with him playing so deep that you can get closer and closer and closer to third, and then you can turn it on. But some guys will just take off, or they'll be scared to make a mistake. And I mean, look at that outfield. If a fly ball goes over their head, it's a homer.
Really deep. I'm seeing Max Kepler, the center fielder, deep for just about everybody in this lineup. And that's a base hit into center. Here comes Carlson. Throw to the plate, cut off, and the game is tied at 2-2 on an RBI base hit by Goldie.
Great job again, both base runners, and that's what I'm talking about. When you play that deep, there is no way on earth this ball hit this hard should be that easy of a run scored from second base. And then Goldie does a nice job of making a huge turn. Good swing right here.
But he's so deep, Dillon even goes back. He's got no chance to throw him out, and then Goldie takes a huge turn, and there's no one at first base. Because of the shift and the way that defenses are played now, first baseman has to go and take the throw from center, and so easy way to score.
Goldschmidt, first RBI since July 23rd. That was the series on the road against Cincinnati. Nolan Arenado struck out on a check swing his first time up and fouls it back. So brand new game here in the home half of the third. Inning started with a base hit by Sosa. Sacrifice by Wainwright. Bloop double by Dylan Carlson to bring in Sosa. Goldie the RBI single to center.
If you were to say, I'm going to give you a clue. Goldschmidt hit a line drive to center field, 101 off the bat. Dylan Carlson went back to second base. Does he score or not? What's your answer? No way.
Probably not.
Yeah, no way.
I was, did so many of your games, obviously. And you would be, I would say, seeing Kepler there, you're 20 to 30 feet closer in center field.
And the other thing, too, is, like I said, it's Goldie. If he hits the ball in the air, he's going to kill it. And the only thing that he does that you have chances to chase are a flare down the line to right or a base hit. He's either going to, that's what I say, you eliminate the things that can happen against certain pitchers. So this guy, Pineda throwing, if he makes a good pitch, he's going to flare one into right. He's going to hit a line drive, or he's going to hit one up in the air, and the wind's blowing out today. It's probably either going to hang up a little bit or it's a homer. So I take my chances with the homer, no. And if it is, so be it. I don't want to just give up runs just because. And I think that part is you earn the respect of your pitchers. And the fact that you care about your pitchers is another reason why you do it. And you come in on that play right there. If you're not playing that deep, third base coach has no chance to send him at all. Doesn't even send him. But man, he is, I mean, what is that? 30 feet from 400 sign? He's basically playing no doubles right now.
Absolutely. It's like a late innings defense. Really their entire outfield. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Arenado. A check on Goldie.
And some guys, I mean, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him, but and I say a lot of guys nowadays will just play deep to try to catch a home run. You're not doing that here. This is not the place you're robbing home runs. It doesn't happen very often.
The 1-2 pitch and a fly ball into right field. Larnach over to make the catch. With 2 outs, it'll be Tyler O'Neill. So taking a look at the center fielder, Max Kepler.
And I don't want to pick on Max Kepler, but I'm just saying he's too deep. He's too good of an athlete.
Mix that in with the sprint speed of Dylan Carlson. StatCast presented by Google Cloud, and an easy run scores.
And I think as the worst part is, as a base runner, when you go back to second and then you start picking up speed around third and your third base coach starts waving you, your mind is saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to be out so bad.
So 2 outs, runner at first. O'Neill, a big swing and a miss. Cardinals and Twins, we've seen each other a bunch in interleague play, and these two teams saw each other in the 1987 World Series, in which the home teams won every game of that postseason. Minnesota took Game 7.
They might have backed up a little bit even more with O'Neill hitting. And that's just a lot of room out there. That is like playing at Coors Field, where any kind of bloop base hit or any kind of a bloop fly ball is a single.
Runner goes. Goldschmidt to second, and a stolen base.
What a great jump.
Second stolen base for the Cardinals here this afternoon. RBI opportunity now for Tyler O'Neill. Goldie's been running a little bit more here recently. Picks his spots, and more times than not, he's in there.
Yeah, that's a great jump right there. They got probably, you look at the thing on Pineda right here, and he's fastest time he normally has is a 1.3, and that's enough to run. His median time is 1.6.
So they may be running a lot today with him on the mound. We'll see. That's his 7th stolen base. Number 135 of his career. Check swing. And the strikeout of Tyler O'Neill, number 2 for Pineda. But the Cardinals, with 3 hits in the inning, they've tied it up, and it's 2-2.
Stories of little boys who dream of becoming major league players. Those little boys dream of being an all-star, playing in the 7th game of the World Series, of being elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. They dream of their hometown retiring their uniform number, and they dream of a statue placed here next to all these great players. Of course, this grown man was just such a little boy. He's lived a charmed life. All of his dreams came.
Awesome speech with Ted Simmons yesterday. The statue dedication. Luis Ariz at the plate. The only catcher in the history of baseball with more runs batted in than Simmons is Yogi Berra. The only catcher in the history of the game with more hits, Ivan Rodriguez, and yet it took this long
How does that
for
happen?
Ted Simmons to get into the Hall of Fame. Well, part of it was the fact that those teams he played on weren't very good. Diving catch, Harrison Bader. There were a couple of teams that he played on that were close, but really in the 70s, kind of unassuming teams, and Ted Simmons was one of the reasons that many came to the ballpark, and a fan favorite. Nice play by Harrison Bader.
So just a really nice job. Kind of got a little bit of a weird break, kind of went a little bit to his right just to make sure it wasn't in the gap, and then just picked up speed so quick.
So the Cardinals yesterday retiring their 12th number. Here's Mitch Garver.
And that is 10 behind the Yankees. They've retired the most of 22. The Cardinals most in the National League with 12. And of the number 23 that is retired in baseball, you got Ryan Sandberg of the Cubs, Willie Harris of Detroit, and Don Mattingly of the Yankees, who, by the way, just tested positive for COVID-19. So he's going to step away from the Marlins for a bit. Shift on the left side for Garver, who singled and scored back in inning number 2.
You know, the other day when they traded Rizzo, I was actually curious to see what number he was going to wear. I mean, where do you go? You know, like, I think back in the day that, you know, everyone was really into their numbers, right? You 1 through 20 meant you were really good, and you get to pick your number as a kid. And so when you get to the big leagues, now it's really cool to wear 95 and 99 and
Sure.
88.
Carpenter wears 13 for the round he was drafted in. The 1-2 pitch just missed. Cardinals will have a numbers switch coming up beginning today, actually. I wouldn't assume that John Lester would be in this game, but John Lester will get number 31, and Mike Maddox will go to 35, the Cardinals pitching coach. The 2-2 pitch. Hit out of play.
I always wonder why the coaches have numbers. You feel me? They should just have like a, I don't know. It's funny to see coaches with numbers and their names on the back. I would just have that red jacket right there.
More times than not, they do.
I know.
The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 3.
I think if I was a coach or the manager, I would not want my name on my back just so people couldn't figure out who I was and then just yell at me. You're the manager, you're getting yelled at.
Good breaking ball here by Adam Wainwright.
That breaking ball, that big break, ends up down at the bottom of the zone.
So with 2 outs, Miguel Sano, who doubled into the gap in left center, then scored on a base hit by Simmons. Shift on the left side of the infield for Sano. 2-2 our score, 4 hits aside, and that's strike 1. Cardinals will have Molina, Bader, and Edman coming up. Fouled back. Nothing in 2. So Baldelli there wearing the pullover and Mike Schilt in uniform.
That's the difference between a recent player and a longtime manager right there. Old school, new school.
The 0-2. Surprised you haven't brought up, like, for an NBA game, you want to see those guys in a tank top and
Yeah, they're
full uni.
In a uni. Some bad bodies going there, buddy.
Oh boy.
And the 1-2 pitch to Sano. Hits it out to deep left. It's hooking foul. Had him out in front just enough.
Playing with fire right there, I'm telling you. Anything up in the zone to him. You know that old saying, if it's already above the fence, just swing at it. He's one of those guys. It's almost like they're trying to get in on him and it's just not getting there, so you're throwing it in his wheelhouse a little bit. Sometimes that ball creeps back over the plate just a little bit.
Adam knew that and he stepped away. The 1-2 pitch, and he struck him out. Back-to-back Ks and 4 today for Adam Wainwright. Yachty coming up when we come back.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest, brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the St. Louis Cardinals. One of the kids' Rawlings giveaway is the glove. And ready for his souvenir. Yadier Molina, Harrison Bader, Tommy Edman for St. Louis. Trying to break a tie with Pujols on the all-time hits list in Cardinals history. The first pitch to Yachty. Take it for a strike. Popped out to second his first time up. His career in interleague games, there have been a bunch. .273 hitter. The 0-1 pitch is a fly ball out to left. And Yadi 0 for 2. One out here in the home half of the 4th. Delaware North Sports Service, the official concession provider of Busch Stadium, hosting a hiring event Tuesday, August 10th from 2 to 6 here at the ballpark. Part-time job opportunities available in a variety of roles. You'll receive a $250 sign-on bonus after working through the month of August. Cardinals.com/jobs. That is this Tuesday at 2 o'clock here at the ballpark. Harrison Bader. And the first pitch taken for a strike on the inside corner. 75 at bats in July, and Bader had the National League's 5th best average. Had an OPS over 1,000. Only 9 players in the month of July had that, and he's one of them. No balls and 2 strikes. Harrison Bader. And he waves at that pitch and a strikeout. That's number 3 for Pineda. Now it's time for our Kia player profile, brought to you by your local Kia dealers. A closer look at the Cardinals' second baseman in his career. August through October is when he's done a lot of damage in his young career. Higher OPS, average is better, near 300.
This might be something that, he gets around the league a little bit more, facing guys a couple more times, especially early on in your career. Seeing the whole league for the first time is tough.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and a strike.
And the 0-1 pitch hit out of play. 0-2. So it's an off day tomorrow for the Cardinals, and we'll have all 3 games coming up against the Atlanta Braves. They'll be here Tuesday night. We'll see the Cardinal debut of John Lester. Max Fried will go for Atlanta. Jay Happ, Cardinal debut, game 2 against Drew Smyly. Wade LeBlanc against Touki Toussaint in game 3.
Atlanta Braves without Marcell Ozuna, Ronald Acuna Jr., so they were busy leading up to the trade deadline and then the day of the deadline. There's a base hit into the gap in right center field. Edman thinking to, out of the batter's box on his way to second, sliding in safely with a double. Why not think to, as deep as they're playing?
It's a great job by Tommy right here. It's just this is a base hit. Should be a base hit right here. But Kepler playing so deep, just keeps on running. And I think, to be honest with you, I think the defense right there is playing on the wrong side. Tommy's more of a pull hitter.
And here's the thing playing center field. Whatever side you're playing on, you got to think that wherever you're at, if he hits the ball on the other side, you're going to be able to run under it. So
if you're playing in left center against Tommy Edman and he gets into one in right center, you're not going to run under it. If you're playing in right center and he hits one into left center, he's not probably going to juice it. You're going to be able to run under it. So 1, they're playing on the wrong side, and 2, he's playing super deep. That's just a great job by Tommy, running hard the whole way. It's an easy double on something that should have been a 2-hopper to center field.
Intentional pass to Sosa. Wainwright with a sacrifice, first time up. 0-30 with no homers, no runs batted in here in 2021. Runners at first and second with 2 down. And Wainwright on the first pitch pops
swing.
it up and
Look at him
out of play.
He's bummed he missed it. They give you a pitcher. They give you one swing as a pitcher sometimes, and You take your chance on the first pitch with a fastball. Oh, look at his body language right here.
He is a surprising 1 for 33 this year. Does have a walk, 18 strikeouts. Chance to help his cause.
Maybe his resurgence as a pitcher has taken away from his hitting a little bit.
He's done a very nice job dropping down the bunts back in this third inning. That sacrifice was his 10th and a career high. He had 2 separate years of 9, but now with 10. The 1-1.
Dylan Carlson on deck. He's a career 191 hitter with 37 doubles, couple of triples, 10 home runs.
Move the infield in a little bit. That's about almost normal depth. Still out there a little ways. I think this ballpark is deceiving because when you turn to look in the gaps, they seem so much bigger. That makes you back up a little bit.
On a play, evens it up at 2-2. Long look by Pineda, now set. And the 2-2 pitch to Wainwright. On a play again.
Tell you what, this is a good battle right here. And it's a big at bat right here. If he pulls out a walk or a little bloop single, all of a sudden you turn that lineup over. You see the bases loaded and 2 outs with Dylan Carlson hitting right here.
The 2-2. Full count.
Good take. Good take.
Jose Barrios, 6 shutout innings. The former Twin in his first start with the Blue Jays. Though Minnesota did get some top prospects coming back. Blue Jays back in Canada, and that's good to see.
Isn't that cool? Almost over 2 years.
Yeah.
Oof.
Big pitch here on 3-2. There go the runners. And Waino pops it foul again.
I mean, you got to believe he's going to throw you a fastball if you're Waino. You got to sell out a little bit. Problem is you don't want to get tricked.
It's a ball in the gap. The speed of Edman and Sosa. Cardinals could go on top by 2 here.
I'll just take the walk.
Crowd comes alive. Another 3-2 pitch. Waino pulls it. Foul.
Wow. That's what I mean by selling out a little bit right there. You got to know, you got to believe he's throwing you a fastball. You can't get beat on a fastball. I'd hate to see him swing through a decent breaking ball, but that is how you have to approach this at bat right there. And I'm sure that's what he was thinking. Now, if you're the pitcher, you got to be thinking, oh man, what am I going to do here? I can't throw him one right down the middle. I know he's got pop. I can't walk him. This is right here why the game can be so great, Danny. There's a lot going on down there right now. And it's not just between these two, it's everyone on the field.
The 9th pitch of the at-bat. Popped up again, and we'll have a 10th.
Wow.
These fans are into it, on their feet. We'll have at least a 10-pitch at-bat for Adam Wainwright. Pineda doesn't walk many, only 16 and 14 starts. And 1 total in his July starts. So we'll see if Waino again gets a pitch to hit.
When was the last time you heard the fans get into an at-bat when the pitcher's hitting in the 4th inning?
3-2. Waino hits it sharply to third. Arise comes up with it, but Sano can't come up with it. And a run scores, and it makes it a 3-2 St. Louis lead.
You have got to be kidding me. He picked that ball right there. That is so crazy. Then you make a nice play and you have so much time and you don't throw it over to first hard enough. Tried to be too careful and just didn't get it there. I mean, what a pick. And just didn't throw it.
The at-bat of the game so far, Wainwright with a 10-pitch at-bat. You got to wonder about the effects of that moving forward. It extends the inning to Dylan Carlson with runners at the corners.
That's a nice job too by Tommy. Tommy keep running, the plays right in front of him. As soon as he catches that ball, it's easy to stop and break it down. Just kept on running.
Shift on the right side. Carlson 2 for 2 with a single to right. Bloop double to left. Run scored and a run batted in. First pitch to him. And strike 1. It was 110 miles per hour off the bat of Adam Wainwright. Hardest hit ball of the season for Waino.
Might be the hardest hit for the day too. From anyone.
The 0-1. Carlson, a .286 hitter with runners in scoring position. St. Louis was down 2-0 in this game and now a 1-run lead. And that one caught our home plate umpire in a fairly sensitive area.
You're going to need sensitive training pretty soon, Danny. Just to the side of the thigh, or he would not be standing it up right now.
Runners at first and third. Count of 0-2. All kinds of room. Outfield, infield, left side. Waino running. Hit to second. And the play is made with Adam Wainwright running on that pitch. Put it in play. Good things happen. 3-2 St. Louis. Reminder that we have a Bud Bash coming up. Cardinals.com/Bud Bash. And Bo Hart will be here on Tuesday night. Get your tickets. Cardinals.com/Bud Bash. Let's check in with Jim Hayes.
Danny, the Cards acquired John Lester from the Nets just ahead of the trade deadline. He'll make his first start for the Cards on Tuesday against Atlanta. John pitched against the Cards in the World Series for Boston and, of course, spent 6 seasons with the Cubs. He said, speaking to the media today, I've been on the other side of things for a while. but I've always respected the way the Cards go about it. About being a Cardinal after years as a Cub, Lester said it would have been weird going from Chicago to here, but that little bit of separation in Washington changes that perspective. He said, I'm excited to start new, and I'm excited to throw to Yachty. I've respected him for years. Maybe he can help me get back on track. Danny, we'll see what Lester has starting Tuesday.
Three-time champion, a couple of times. Well, wearing that Boston uniform in 07, 13, and then in 16 with Chicago. He's 37, Happ is 38, and this guy is 39, Adam Wainwright. All-star appearances between that group. There's 9 of them. Tons of playoff experience, and all 3 have a ring. Jay Happ won in 8, and Adam Wainwright, of course, here in St. Louis. Trevor Larnach, Andrelton Simmons, and Michael Pineda. John Gant begins to throw for Minnesota in their bullpen. And a strike to Trevor Larnach.
Good pitch. Get me over. Breaking ball. Big one. Throwing it for a strike.
Hit down the right field line and a fair ball into the corner. Larnach has a leadoff double.
One of the things you think about here, Jimmy, is not only what did that at bat take out of Pineda, but also Waino being at the plate.
I was thinking the same thing. And Waino does a really nice job of taking his time. He's not going to get rushed going back out between innings. But still, I mean, it's just a different animal when you're up there battling and then you're running the bases and then you're stealing second. I was kind of surprised that he took off.
So leadoff double. Here's Simmons. Base hit to center. Brought in 2. Back in the second. Fouled it back.
I'll tell you what. I'm just going to challenge him with fastballs from now on, and I'm going to throw him up and in, down and in. I'm not going to give him anything to extend his hands. I'm going to try and throw him up and away, but off the plate, get him to chase, because he's been all over every off-speed pitch. And he's one of those guys, too, that feasts on that. When you know, he slows down his swing with 2 strikes and he'll look for your best pitch. I'm just going to fire balls at him like that.
1-1.
It's like he's not even on time for the fastball right now.
He's a .392 career hitter against the Cardinals. Andrelton Simmons, number of years with the Braves, then Angels, now here with Minnesota. Bounced around a bit. Breaking ball hit to Arenado. Looks back the runner and the first out. Looks like they're going to pinch hit for Pineda, pull him back with a runner at second base, and Jake Cave, a left-handed batter, will step to the plate. Back in the second inning, the BJC Healthcare difference maker, if you missed it. Pineda puts it in play, and Nolan Arenado with a runner at first says, I'm going for it. And what an incredible play this is. The jump throw just to get Simmons, and then an easy turn for Sosa. The double play, the BJC Healthcare difference maker.
Thank you very much, slide rule. Because that play has never been made in the past. It would not be possible without having a slide rule to protect the infielders. Don't even try that right there.
Cave was 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter last night. 3rd career pinch hit. Takes a breaking ball. And a stress reaction in his lower back that put him on the IL for 64 games this year. Just came back within the last week. He can play center, right, left. He's bounced around in the outfield defensively in the 1-0 pitch. Edman backs up. And the high throw, Goldie on the bag for the out. And the runner does not advance from second to third.
I'm not really sure there, but Look at that play again. Maybe that ball was in the air just a little bit too long and he didn't know where Tommy was playing. Another problem with the shift, right? Guys are out of position. You're trying to read this as a base runner. Yeah, so he's thinking this might get caught. This is the no man's land. I can't really fault him for that. Kind of ball is a little lofted in the air a little bit longer than you'd think. You wouldn't think that a little soft line drive that lands in the grass is at second base is not going to get caught before it bounces.
So 2 outs, runner at second, top of the lineup. Fastball taken high by Kepler. Pulled out on strikes in the first and fly to left. Cardinals with a shift on the right side of the infield. Two balls and no strikes. Brent Rooker on deck.
Yeah, I think you want to kind of be careful here. You don't necessarily just want to give in because he's a left-handed hitter, because the kid on deck, Rooker's swinging the bat pretty well, but also mindful, obviously, the left-handed hitter right here.
And a pickoff into center field. Going to call that interference, I believe, anyway, on Sosa to give the runner Larnach third base. Yep.
Third base umpire looks like he's in a snowstorm.
2 balls, no strikes.
Is that Carlos Torres over there, I think? That you don't see every day in St. Louis on a 1 o'clock game.
And a fly ball lifted into left center.
The catch made by Tyler O'Neill. The Twins strand a runner. Goldie Arenado O'Neill coming up.
The homestand will continue with the off day tomorrow. Braves in town on Tuesday. Get ready for left-handed pitching. Lester, Fried, Happ, Smiley, LeBlanc all scheduled to go for their respective teams. And then Kansas City interleague play again beginning on Friday, and a bunch of giveaways here at the ballpark. Cardinals.com/promotions. The Budweiser What's on Tap. And old buddy, the 28-year-old right-hander John Gant is in. Made 14 starts for the Cardinals this year. Appeared in 25 games. Last time he pitched against St. Louis, he was with the Braves in 2016. And he's making his Minnesota Twins debut. He'll get Goldie Arenado O'Neill. As we mentioned the other night, doesn't happen very often where you see a guy get traded and they're taking on the team that it's traded to, but that's the case here.
Quickly.
Yep. They have arrived at the ballpark on Friday night and went and grabbed his stuff and went to the other clubhouse. Strike to Goldschmidt. 1 for 2 with a RBI base hit. He's now driven in 56 on the year. Outfield extremely deep. And the 0-1 pitch by John Gant. It was a matter of John just being able to throw strikes. Really struggled to nullify the amount of walks that he was putting up this year.
Yeah, it was a Houdini act. It was struggle, and then get basically 2 guys on, sneak out a strikeout or a pop up, and then get a ground ball, and like, ho hum, no big deal. And he kept doing it and doing it. Don't know how he was getting away with it, but he was.
2-2.
The 2-2 pitch. It up the middle, backhanded. by Polanco. He's a good-looking defensive player.
Tell you what, man, this guy's watching defense at this level is ridiculous. I mean, the plays that these guys make, unbelievable. Just hands are so soft. It's like they know where the ball is going to bounce.
It's a hard hit ball, too.
Take your time. Get over there. Make a good throw.
Here's Arenado, struck out on a check swing back in the first and flied to right. And looks at ball one. Rather a strike. Arenado is 2 for 3 with a pair of walks against John Gant in his career. The 0-1 pitch. Tyler O'Neill on deck. If anybody can reach, we'd see Yadier Molina. 5 hits aside. Both teams have committed an error and a 3-2 St. Louis lead. Pineda went 4 innings in this ball game today.
I was going to say, wouldn't it be something if Gant came out here and just started firing strikes? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Might see it. You never know.
You never know.
The 2-1 pitch. Fouled back 2-2. Say it all the time, but a change of scenery, different voices.
Always the different voices, I think. Just pick up different things from different people. Something might just click. Just say the same thing, but a different guy says it. Just never know.
And the 2-2 pitch. Strikeout of Arenado. Join us on Sunday, a week from today. Cardinals take on the Royals. 8,000 kids ages 15 and younger entering with a ticket. Take home a unique water bottle. Features our favorite. That'll be Fredbird, courtesy of the Pasta House Company. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions.
I rode the elevator up today with Fredbird.
Is that right?
Yes, I did. Fredbird minus the costume, but still Fredbird.
That is out to left and a base hit for Tyler O'Neill with 2 outs here in the home half of the 5th. And a chance for Yadier Molina. Yadi is 0 for 2. Popped out to second. Also flied to left field. And you would think Yadi knows John Gant as well as anybody.
You would think, but that's where John Gant has to reinvent himself a little bit. Still just all about stuff. You can make your pitches, throw the ball where you're supposed to. You're going to have success.
Yadi tied with Albert Pujols, the Cardinals' all-time hits list. And a check on Tyler O'Neill. Well, with Pineda on the mound, the Cardinals were aggressive, even to the point that they started Adam Wainwright. Had a couple of stolen bases against him.
I think they had that 1-6, 1-7 time frame. Take advantage of it.
The first pitch to Yadier Molina. There it is, a base hit into right center. He is now in 4th place all alone on the Cardinals' all-time hits list. Hit number 2074. He passes Albert Pujols, and he is 4th all-time in hits in Cardinals history. A significant milestone as he passes his great friend, future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols. And now Yadier Molina is all alone, 4th in hits in Cardinals history. Amazing.
You have to wonder, with all the milestones he has had, just how significant that one is to him. To pass his good buddy Albert Pujols.
Tell you what, I mean, I don't know if you want to trade one spot or the other for your boys, but just climbing up that ladder is so impressive. And it's just, you know, for Yachty, it's not a big deal anymore. I mean, he'll sit back in 3 or 4 years when he's done and look at it. But us watching him right now, like you said, knowing where he came from, I still remember when he came up to big league camp and they used to make him go ride the bike so he would lose some weight and get in shape, and he just kept working hard, and you know he's got the tools. The brothers all had the tools, and he just got better and better.
Bader shoots one foul, 0-2. This is where John Gant is at his best. With runners in scoring position, the opposition 10 for 82. That's a 122 average against John Gant this year.
Yeah, his splits are ridiculous between having no guys on and guys in scoring position. It's almost unheard of.
Yachty running, pitch gets away. O'Neill will score. And it's a 4-2 Cardinals lead. It was almost as if it was even beyond a delayed steal, where Yachty maybe was trying to get in a rundown potentially and score Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah, trying to steal a run right there. Bader's had a tough day today. A little out of whack. John Gant tries to overcook a slider, it looks like, right here.
That'll be a stolen base for Molina. O'Neill scoring on the wild pitch. And it's 1-2 on Harrison Bader.
Yeah, that's his deal with percentage of batters faced that he faces that score. It's 7%. That he faces that end up scoring.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Bader. Fly ball on the infield. Right side, and Sano. Stan the man, number 1. Brock, number 2. Hornsby, 3. And now Yadier Molina with this base hit into right center. 4th all-time. The all-time hits list in Cardinals history.
Hit number 2074 for Yadier Molina. And closing in on Rogers Hornsby, 2,110. So not far behind him.
I mean, think about that. Wow. Also, pretty good defender, I would guess, too, right?
Just throwing out a few guys.
Not bad. Not bad at his other craft.
Came up in 2005, and the fewest stolen base attempts coincides with his debut.
Look at that.
By a wide margin. The Cardinals, 825, have seen that against him. That's amazing.
You know, what's funny is
Rooker with a fly ball into right field. Dylan Carlson.
We've been talking a lot about his hitting, obviously, lately, but I mean, it basically got to the big leagues because of his defense. And then he has just turned himself into a well-rounded player and a really, really good hitter.
Well, Jimmy, he made his debut June 3rd of 04. And since that time, he has started nearly 80% of the Cardinal games at catcher. The Cardinals' winning percentage when he starts is .562, .529 when he doesn't start.
And that's with some really good teams.
Big breaking ball there.
Really good teams. That curveball was that 63 miles an hour?
It's almost an eephus coming to Jorge Polanco. 1 out, nobody on, and the 0-1 pitch. So Yachty right now offensively in Cardinals history, 4th in hits, 4th in doubles, 10th in home runs, 7th all-time in multi-hit games, and he has the most hits ever in postseason play. The 1-1 in the air. Right field, Carlson going back, and it just gets over the wall and a home run. Jorge Polanco, his 16th home run, cuts a lead to 1.
Well, this is one of those pitches that Adam wish he had back. This is supposed to be the two-seamer that you throw at the hip and run it back, and he just didn't throw it inside enough. And to a hitter, it just looks like a fastball down the middle. You don't know any difference. You don't know where they're setting up. And see where Yadi's set up. He throws that ball inside that glove. It stays in there, and it just runs back right over the plate.
One-run game. The home run by Polanco. Luis Ariz is 0 for 2. He is fly to left, fly to center. Since Albert Pujols left, today is game number 1,161 that Molina has played in since he left. His average 285 over 1,200 hits. No catcher has more hits than Yadi in that time frame. That includes Buster Posey or some of the other offensive-minded ones that you think about. Ground ball backhanded by Tommy Edman for out number 2. Mitch Garver with a base hit to left, run scored, and a strikeout.
It's a nice play by Tommy right there. If you get in front of that ball, your momentum takes you away from the bag, and you got to set and throw. Kind of backhands it on the stop, and then he's already got his momentum ready to go back towards first base. So even though he's backhanding it, and you're supposed to get in front of the ball, the play's not made if he gets in front of it and tries to do too much.
One more note on Yadi. It's he and Stan who have the most hits by a Cardinal who never got a hit for anybody else, which is something that has been significant all the years spent in one uniform. The 0-1 pitch. Nothing in 2. Wainwright, his spot is due up third for the Cardinals in the home half of the 6th. Pitch count very economical. This will be number 70 coming up. Shift on the left side of the infield. And the 0-2 pitch to Garver. And he struck him out.
That's the pitch he wanted on the home run right there.
Strikeout number 5. Polanco extends his hitting streak to 6 with a home run. It's 4-3.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Cardinals and not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals with a lead of 4-3. Home half of the 6th here at Busch Stadium. A reminder that this year you can get 100% MLB verified tickets easier than ever. StubHub, the official partner of the Cardinals, and they offer the widest selection of seats and prices. Even look up your seat before you purchase and get the view of that seat. Tickets are available. StubHub up until the first pitch. Tommy Edman, Edmundo Sosa, and Adam Wainwright. And Danny Colomb into the ball game. With 2 innings, gave up an earned run the other night. In relief of John Gant. Tommy Edman with a double, a run scored. And 1 for 2 today. Outfield is straight away, fairly deep for Tommy Edman. Fastball in there for a strike. Edman hitting .316 against the lefties this season. And the 1-1. 2 strikes. Two and two.
Good take right there.
The 2-2 pitch. Broken bat, fair ball inside the first base line. A lot of English on that baseball. And Tommy Edman has his second double.
Are you talking about Minnesota Fats English or just a little bit of baseball English? This is just a nice piece of hitting. It's what he does so well. He gets a slider down and in, he overswings, then he gets a breaking ball down and in, and he takes it. And so he just relaxes and waits for a pitch to hit, doesn't try to do too much. And the later he gets into the count, the better hitter he becomes. And then it's basically just fighting off a good pitch, putting the ball in play.
I wonder what Tommy's brother thinks of that. He's in the analytics department of the Minnesota Twins. He's got a pair of doubles today. Here's Sosa. Showing bunt and fouled back with Adam Wainwright on deck. Second time this year that Tommy Edman has a pair of doubles in a game. A little surprising to see Sosa bunting there in that spot with the pitcher on deck.
I was thinking the same thing, but I'll tell you what, anytime you can get a guy on third base, I'd take advantage of it. You know, Adam can put the ball in play. He can even push bunt, you know, safety squeeze. There's a lot of things that can happen, but also you put the wild pitch in play. So why not get a run? I think that the other thing too is, you know, Sosa might have done that on his own, because if you're watching the game and you're a right-handed hitter and you see Tommy Edman's at bat, you know he's not going to give you a pitch out over the plate to hit the other way, hit the second base or whatever. So you take it upon yourself to just get the runner over, because that's your job. It doesn't matter who's behind you. But if you get into a one-run game late in the game, 6th, 7th inning, your job is to move a runner over here. And so a lefty pounding you in is not going to give you an opportunity. So you have to take a pitch or two to try and do it. And now you're just hitting.
No balls, 2 strikes on Sosa. Got to find a way to get Edman to third, and that's one way to do it. He's running, and it's a base hit. He'll find his way to the plate. On an 0-2 pitch, the base hit by Sosa, and it's back to a 2-run St. Louis lead.
Such another great jump right there by Tommy. He got a look. He knows sometimes when a guy looks at you and he looks away, he's not going to go back, and he took off. Sosa does a nice job. He doesn't lose his concentration. He just puts the ball in play. Just another one. Just a good at bat. Pulls his hands in. Doesn't try to do too much.
Adam Wainwright reached on an error that brought in a run back in the 4th inning for the Cardinals. A 10-pitch at bat.
He is sacrificed today. Got down his 10th sacrifice bunt. His now new career high.
He reached on an error on a 110-mile-an-hour line drive.
Yeah.
It should have been a double.
Outfield straight away for Waino. Still nobody out, and the 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. Pushed foul, 0-2. 10-pitch at bat for Adam Wainwright in the 4th inning. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. Worked it to full and then hit it 110 miles an hour to third. And after that, Pineda was lifted Got a ground ball off the bat at Carlson, and he went 4 innings. Showing bunt again. Pop Warner flashing the signs. In start number 294 together today, Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina. Squares to bunt. Pulls it back for a ball, 1-2. Cardinals do feel very comfortable, even with 2 strikes, letting Wainwright bunt. Yadier Molina with a base hit today, number 2074. Anthony Rizzo, by the way, first 3 games with the Yankees, goes 5 for 9, 5 runs, 2 home runs, drives in 3. Yankees win again.
Well, I'll tell you what, that first home run he hit was a bomb.
The 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Reds over the Mets 7-1. After the Mets walked off the Reds on Saturday night. John Lester recently acquired. Jay Happ as well. We'll see them in the upcoming series against the Braves. The 2-2 pitch gets the bunt down. Second sacrifice in this game, number 11 in 2021 for Adam Wainwright.
I was going to say, the reason why you're going to let a guy like Adam Wainwright bunt with 2 strikes is because now he lowers his body in the strike zone, and he's so good at just pulling the bat back on a pitch that's not a strike. You're giving him a better opportunity to have a successful at bat versus swinging, because to swing at pitches like that, you're going to have to make a better effort. Here, he can just stay down there. If it's in the strike zone, you try to bunt it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it's not in the strike zone, though, a very easy pullback and get another pitch.
So 11 sack bunts, most in baseball. Zach Davies second with 8. 1 out runner at second. Cardinals trying to add to their 5-3 lead. Carlson is 2 for 3. Single and a double. Run scored and a run batted in. And takes strike 1. The 0-1 pitch hit out of play.
And you can see them dancing around out at second base. They got something with timing or something on some of these pitchers, because they're trying to take advantage. Maybe he's just a one-look guy. They're even holding runners on at second base, and as soon as they start to look towards home plate, they're ready to go. And Sosa's frustrated. He just didn't go. He got a little nervous.
The 0-2 pitch. Carlson could not hold up. It'll be a strikeout. You see on the sleeves of the uniforms of the Minnesota Twins, the right sleeve MB, that's for Mike Bell. It's the brother of David Bell, longtime member of the Twins organization. They lost him earlier this season, and that's why you see the MB on the patch, the sleeve. There's Paul Goldschmidt, 1 for 3. RBI base hit into center and a stolen base back in the third. Taken down and in for ball one. .301 average with runners in scoring position. Outfield extremely deep. So the runner at second base. One caught our catcher,
Ouch.
Garver.
Oh.
To be the left knee. Take a look here.
He's in a bad position right there, vulnerable.
Ouch.
It's like inside the thigh on the edge of the knee pad or top of the knee pad. Just another bruise.
It's a rehab assignment today for Jack Flaherty. He's pitching for Memphis against Gwinnett. We'll get an update on Jack before this telecast and postgame is through. The 1-1 pitch. Out of play. Well, it won't be too long. You're going to have Flaherty back in the rotation. You had Miles Michaelis. Mentioned that the Cardinals will face the Royals a bunch in this month of August, and Pittsburgh as well. Pittsburgh just traded away Frazier. Their most effective starter Anderson, their closer Rodriguez. Jorge Soler, Danny Duffy gone from the Kansas City Royals. We'll see Soler on Tuesday night. He's now a member of the Braves. 22 of the 27 games against teams below 500.
Well, this is when you have to make your run. This is when you have to beat up on the teams that you should beat up on. And then you try to win series or play 500 ball against the teams that are really good. You catch back up in a hurry.
With the win today by Cincinnati, beat the Mets 7-1. They're now just 3.5 games behind the Padres for the wild card berth. They're getting hot. The 1-2. Pulled foul. Chris Bryant making his Giants debut today. Javi Baez made his Mets debut last night and hit a home run.
New life, I'm telling you. It's crazy how that happens, isn't it?
Yep. The 1-2 pitch put in play. Spin and throw. Cardinals get the single by Edmundo Sosa on an 0-2 pitch. They lead at 5-3.
Edmundo Sosa, the RBI single. It's a 5-3 Cardinal lead as we go to the 7th. You know, Yadi's been really good for a long time because the milestones keep piling up on Yadi climbing the Cards' all-time hit list. Mike Schilt told me this. This was a guy who came up and was initially asked to shepherd the defense. There's a lot put on Cardinal catchers, especially in this organization, and he's done a Hall of Fame job with that. But he also realized he could really help out with his bat, so he worked as hard on his offense as he did on his defense, which is really saying something for Yadi. Danny, Yadi made himself into an offensive threat.
There's Miguel Sano. And again, for those of you that just joined us, hit number 2074 for Yadier Molina. 4th place on the all-time Cardinals hit list all alone. And catching Adam Wainwright, these two, it's start number 294 together today. And you look up, I guess we shouldn't be surprised. Adam Wainwright pitching to Yadi and pitching to him in the 7th inning, which he's gone at least 7 innings 10 different times this year. Second most in baseball.
Tell you what, I can't wait to see number 300. That's going to be cool. They can lock up with a 300.
Nice play. Dylan Carlson in foul territory.
It's a heck of a
way to
run
go.
right there. Yeah, he made a long run right there.
104 feet he had to go.
Well, you have Sano hitting, so he's playing pretty deep, and you're running into the sun. (104 feet).
Shift on the right side, and Trevor Larnach struck out swinging with 2 runners on in the second, and a double into the corner and right. 1 for 2. Genesis Cabrera begins to throw for St. Louis. I would assume any threat of danger, Mike Schilt would feel comfortable going to his bullpen with the off day tomorrow, and they were not used last night, the big 3. That's a strike, 0-2.
You got to have semi-fresh arms if you think about it.
Yep.
Right? You come off the All-Star break, had a couple days off in between the games that you've been playing. Got another off day coming up.
0-2 the count. You know these guys well. Waino and Yadi, your 2 former teammates, 2 great friends. You feel they're coming back?
Oh, there's no doubt. Why would you stop? You know, they say
play till they rip the uniform off of you, and that was the old days when guys didn't make as much money, but it really is fun. It really is. I wish I could have played another year. I wish I didn't blow my Achilles out. I had no interest in trying to rehab through and not making it back to spring training, which wasn't going to happen. So if I'm healthy and I'm playing like they're playing, heck yeah, I'm coming back. In front of this fan base, this organization, everything.
2-2 the count. Big shift on Larnach. So from 0-2 to a full count. And Cabrera is hot and ready to go if need be. Pitch count only at 80, by the way, for Adam Wainwright. 3-2 pitch. Check swing did not go. He lost him.
Yeah, he lost that pitch too. Is not what he wanted.
While we have a moment, runner at first, 1 out. Quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Our customers rely on us for trusted guidance and support every day. We're honored that they've rated us the #1 bank in America according to Forbes. To find out why, visit us today.
Andrelton Simmons, base hit that scored 2 in the second, grounded out to third. The other run was the Jorge Polanco home run back in the 6th. 1 out, runner at first. Ground ball left side. Arenado. High throw. And they'll get the lead man on a tough play for Nolan on a short hop on a ball that was hit hard.
What? Both of those plays are incredible. That's a great job by Tommy. But what a play by Nolan Arenado again. And he's frustrated. He knows he should have made that throw. But wow, all the way around. Just didn't get his feet and his arm lined up at the same time and just let it go a little high. Smart play right there by Tommy, not trying to do anything special. Just catch the ball and step on the bag.
Here's Astudillo.
That's a tough play too, because that's another thing, like when we talk about with the catchers, right? You're expecting a chest high throw from him. So you're kind of getting your feet set up to catch the ball and throw, not to jump. And to be able to move your feet quick enough to get up in the air, catch the ball, and then come down and touch the bag. I mean, that's a pretty good play right there.
Astudillo brought up the lineup card for the Twins today. Started late insertion into their lineup at third base on
Friday. Donaldson was scratched. And the 0-1 pitch. 0-2. Cardinals have Arenado, O'Neill, Molina looking ahead to the home half of the 7th. The 0-2 fouled back. Wainwright has walked one today. 6 hits allowed and looking for strikeout number 6. Oh, 2 pitch in the air.
Pitch.
Left field. Tyler O'Neill shading from the sun under it, and let's stretch on this Sunday afternoon. Waino again through 7. Cardinals on top by 2. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest is brought to you by St. Louis Children's and Washington University Physicians, doing what's right for kids. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Nolan Arenado, Tyler O'Neill, Yadier Molina for the Cardinals as they have a lead of 5-3. Bo Burrows claimed off of waivers from Detroit back on June 22nd. 25-year-old from Fort Worth, Texas. 6'2", 200-pounder. Well, how about Adam Wainwright? His 11th start of 7 or more innings this year. Trails only Zach Wheeler of the Phillies in all of baseball. And he's doing it at the age of 39. 11 starts, 7 innings or more. The age of 39 in a season, most since Murray Dixon made 18 in 1956. He also surpassed 2,300 innings and the 6th pitcher in Cardinals history to surpass that mark.
And doesn't look like he's slowing down at all.
Cardinals and Twins now dealing with 3 umpires on the field. Carlos Torres has left the game.
Maybe overheated with that mask on. Poor guy.
Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Arenado hits it down the left field line and foul.
Those fans, young and a bit older, hoping for something here from Nolan Arenado.
0 for 3 today. 2-2 the count. Burrows, the 4th pitcher used by the Twins. Held up, full count.
Good take. It's a good job right here. He's kind of the weird situation. 2-2. He's been struggling a little bit. He's moving around a little bit. It's a good take. Good job right there.
Leadoff walk for Nolan Arenado brings in Tyler O'Neill. Well, seeing that the Cardinals are kind of all circled around Adam Wainwright, get the feeling that his day is through, and the fact that Giovanni Gallegos is starting to throw in the bullpen.
Well, and he's standing up at the top step watching the game, and that's not something you do when you're pitching. You know, if you take a look at that dugout, you know where everyone sits, what everyone does, all their personalities, and that's not the personality of him when he's pitching.
It's a ball outside.
Sitting over there on the bench, hat off, trying to cool down, catch his breath. Just letting the new guys know that that's how you do it. Not that difficult.
1-1.
Well, he makes it look easy, but
it's
anything
not?
but.
What do you mean it's not?
Here's a 1-1 pitch to O'Neill. 1-2. Tyler today. Popped out to second, struck out, singled to left, and scored on a wild pitch. Outfield deep, straight away. The 1-2 pitch. Kept in front. Arenado stays put. 2-2. O'Neill sitting on 17 home runs.
So you're calling it. Or you're wishing it.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way.
Or you would love to see it.
Definitely that part. Yeah, he's about due. Why not? Right-handers hit this guy pretty well.
We're looking for the hanging breaking ball, or are we just going to go with the fastball into the right center field seats?
I'm going hanging breaking ball. Or throwing over.
Or whatever.
And what are you going with?
I don't really know here. Where are we at? I'll let you know here as soon as I maybe check out how the catcher sets up.
All right, how about one way or another home run?
Fastball away. I'd like to see him stay on it here.
Full count. Does not want to walk another man. He's going to get a pitch to hit. Maybe a pitch to drive and put it over the seats. Here we go. Arenado, your runner at first base, and the 3-2.
You know what? I know you'd love to see him hit that ball out of the ballpark, but I like that swing right there. He's been kind of getting back to the old ways of pulling off and a little too quick to the zone, and hit a little bit of an adjustment right there where he stayed on it a little too long, which shows me that he's thinking maybe could be a breaking ball, maybe could be a slider, and I can't strike out here. So maybe times him up right here. Maybe now this is the time where he gets a good swing at the fastball.
3-2 pitch.
A little bit better. But I like that. You see, all of a sudden he's starting to go, the ball, the swing's starting to go towards right center again and not up and through and pull off, and feel like he got in a little funk the last couple days after the All-Star break a little bit. Just a couple different swings here and there where he was really consistent at the beginning of the year. This is the tell-all sign right here, if he can lay off this slider or if he hangs it.
Out of play.
Nice play by the young fan.
As you know, sometimes it's in a bat like this that gets you locked back in too.
Yeah, and he's definitely changed his approach a little bit where he's starting to. The thing is, you know, your brain and your body and your hands are all three different parts of your swing, and so you got to get them all synced up, and he's trying to get the ball the other way a little bit, get the ball deep, but his body's not allowing him to stay back enough to drive the ball those last couple swings.
The 9th pitch of the at-bat. We'll have a 10th.
And that's a good swing right there. He's just a little back, a little deep, which is what you want to see. And then my philosophy, in the batting cage, would be talking when guys get mad and they miss pitches like that, and you're talking through hitting. I would say I would rather see that foul ball and a fastball down the middle than a rollover to third base, because you got another pitch to, you live again for another pitch. You're not trying to do too much. You'll get another pitch to hit.
3-2. Got him. A strikeout of O'Neill brings in Molina.
Catcher, Yadier Molina.
The base hit back in the 5th. Hit number 2074 for Yadier Molina, as he passed Albert Pujols, 4th place all alone on the Cardinals hits list. Stan, Lou, Rogers, Hornsby, Yadier Molina. Most hits in Cardinals history.
It's incredible.
And Yachty adding to it. Base hit into left. 2 for 4. Every time he gets a hit, I just expect him to throw the ball out. He's done something.
Wait, why is he using that ball still?
Yeah.
Good swing right there. Landing on the inside of that front foot. He struggles a little bit with his swing at times because his body will get a little rolly. And that foot lands, and if it doesn't land on the inside of that front foot, his body will start to drift a little bit, landing flat-footed, and you can see right there, he landed pretty good, and nothing moved. From the time your foot hits the ground, body stops, then the hands can get through.
Harrison Bader, 2 runners on with 1 out. And a pitch off the plate for ball 1. Popped out to short and second, and also struck out 0 for 3. The 1-0.
There you go.
Been pulling out that pitch last couple of days, and that's sometimes when you know he's just a tick off.
I talked to him the other day, and I asked him how he was feeling. He looked uncomfortable. He said, "I'm not uncomfortable. I just don't feel like I'm right where I need to be." But I don't think he'd ever admit that he's uncomfortable because he thinks he's just one pitch away from doing damage, and that's not what I'm asking him. And you could just tell when, you know, guys do certain things day in and day out, and all of a sudden you see that little wiggle come back. You know, he's just trying to get his feet underneath him, trying to get his body loose, and I like it when guys stand in there and they're really confident and comfortable, and that's how he's been pretty much this whole second half so far.
Quick visit. Pretty one-sided there, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Stop messing around.
Cardinals have out-hit the Twins 10-6. They lead it 5-3, trying to add on. And a strike, 2-1.
And that's basically what you say to some of these younger pitchers is, got a good fastball. You can locate it. Go ahead and throw it out there on the black. Take your chances. Some of these guys don't like to hit the ball the other way. They're going to try and pull it anyways. Just throw it out there. Keep it down. Throw it out on the black. Take your chances with that. Don't keep bouncing sliders.
Bader. High fly ball into left. The catch is made. 1 runner will tag. That's Arenado to third and in there safely.
Oh, I thought he got that ball.
Fans everywhere will love this stadium exclusive giveaway, the Cardinals belt, and that'll be Friday. 30,000 fans ages 16 and older go home with one of the most popular giveaways for this season. Cardinals.com/promotions. The Royals will be here. You'll take home the belt. Good seats available.
I can see you all over that belt in your suits.
No question.
Especially your blue one. The blue, nice blue jacket you have.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. Fits right in.
Little blue and red stripes.
Got my
blue and red checkered jacket.
Argyle
sweater. V-neck sweater.
Yeah. It's a little chilly here in late September, October.
You can get your Scott Miller sweater.
There's Tommy Edman with a couple of doubles. He's 2 for 3. 2 runs scored. So there's the shift, and defensively fairly deep.
Now in this situation I could see backing up a little bit. You don't want the runner from first scoring on a double here.
Out of play.
But it is Yachty. And unless he gets a really good jump, you just don't want the ball to get over your head. But I don't know if they're any deeper than they've been all day.
Tommy hitting .306 with runners in scoring position, 2 outs. Coming into play today. Runners at first and third. Arenado, your runner at third. Molina is over at first with 2 outs. And the 0-2 pitch. Pulled foul. Since that mound visit, it's been all strikes. The 0-2 fouled back.
And a lot of fastballs.
Yeah. Fights it off and fouled back. We'll do it again at 0-2.
Edman battling. Fouled back again.
Nice at bat so far. But really crazy though. You think about it. You walk Arenado. You bounce a bunch of breaking balls. You
go to Yachty and you give up a pitch. Then you start throwing the breaking ball again and you miss. And the pitching coach runs out there and says, hey, let's go. You got good stuff. And that's basically what he's saying. And then you get a strikeout or fly out or whatever. And now you get ahead.
Hit it on the button, but right into the shift. Simmons was near the bag at second. It's 5-3.
With you over at Ballpark Village. Hey, stay with us after the game. We've got the post-game show coming up next after the final out. Another solid day for Adam Wainwright today. Plus, Yachty's historic weekend. We'll take a look at all of that. Let's go back over to Dan and Jim inside Busch.
All right, Erica, thank you. Looking forward to the post-game show. Beautiful day here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis with Jim Edmonds, Jim Hayes, Dan McLaughlin with you. And it's Giovanni Gallegos. Chevy called to the pen after another start in which the Cardinals get 7 innings from Adam Wainwright. The numbers on Giovanni and the Cardinals trying to hold on to this 2-run lead. Top of the lineup coming up for Minnesota.
You see the numbers on Giovanni, but the numbers on Adam again today, like you said, 7 innings, man. It's just scattered 6 hits. Gave up 3 runs. That one home run was probably the only mistake that he gave up today, trying to get inside, and the ball ran back over the plate. But other than that, it was pretty magnificent. I would have to say that's a good word for today. And I don't think he had his best stuff early on, and he just kept battling like he always does, making pitches. A couple pitches didn't go his way, and he stayed out there and kept pushing.
7 innings, the 6 hits, 3 runs. Adam Wainwright gave up the base hit with 2 outs to Andrelton Simmons in the second. Home run solo shot in the 6th. And that's the offense for Minnesota. Top of the lineup, Max Kepler. Hitless today, 0 for 3. First pitch, a strike.
To be honest with you, one of those runs should be wiped off the board with that base hit by Simmons with the play in center field by Bader. So really a better game than it shows. And that cost him an earned run.
The 0-1 pitch with a shift on the right side. Now 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, 3 pitches and a strikeout. 95 on the gun from Gallegos.
I like him when he's fresh. You know, he's one of those guys that will give you a little more velocity, but doesn't really lose his command. You ever notice that? He's one of those guys you don't have to worry about with rest. A lot of guys, they try to overthrow. He's very compact, very consistent.
Yeah.
You know, his velocity, just a, a tick here and there. Go from 93 to 95. You can see 96 out of him sometimes. It's a big difference to hitters, and especially with that breaking ball that he has is nasty.
So 1 out, no runners on. Brent Rooker at the plate. 4 pitches, 2 outs. Bader in right center. 2 away.
Well, that wind blew that ball a long way, didn't it? Wind blowing a little bit to right field now.
I would be fascinated to see the numbers when Giovanni gets, let's say, 2 or 3 days of rest, where velocity is in terms of how efficient he is in the strike zone. Because I'm with you. When he gets rest, he is as good as anybody.
And you know what the thing is, too, is let's just say that even though he doesn't get rest and his velocity is still at 94, 95, it might be just enough for him to have to overthrow to get it there. Because, you know, guys do look up at the scoreboard and see where they're at. And that might throw you off. You know, it's not really the velocity all the time. It's the effort that you have to get it there. Where it might be an easy 94, 95 one day like that. Doesn't look like he's stressing at all. And then when you try to get it up to that point where you're now max effort a little bit, then you start losing your control and you start losing your breaking ball. Where, like I said, when he's right, he's unhittable. And not too often has he been not right. But I would bet that just a little bit of rest is better for just a smooth swing or smooth pitching like this. It's ridiculous. I mean,
He's got 6 pitches right now, no balls and 2 outs.
The other day, what did he throw? 7-pitch inning, 5-pitch inning. Friday night, right? It was like a 5 or 6 pitch inning, and it was just like he comes in, he throws strikes, you look up, and the team's running off the field.
1-2 the count on Polanco, who is homered today, 1 for 3. The check swing.
He just missed throwing a good pitch right there. Just a little bit too much in the dirt, right out of the hand. That ball starts off in the strike zone at all, and he's got to swing. Especially because, you know, he's deep, you know, he gets beat. You get beat by the fastball, so your brain's telling you as a hitter, I got to speed up just a little bit, and that's where you get caught cheating a little bit.
A ball and 2 strikes. Polanco gets underneath it, and a high fly ball into right center. Bader over to make the catch, and a 1-2-3. Giovanni Gallegos. Home half of the 8th rolls in when we come back. For the Twins went 4, Wainwright 7. Polanco has a home run. Simmons has driven in a pair. Dylan Carlson a pair of hits. Sosa 2 for 2. And Yadier Molina now 4th all time on the Cardinals hits list with 2 more hits today. It's a 5-3 St. Louis lead as we move to the home half of the 7th. And Mundo Sosa pinch hitter. Then the top of the lineup Dylan Carlson. And Burrows his 2nd inning of work. Sosa the base hit to left, run scored in the 3rd, intentional walk in the 4th, and on an 0-2 pitch a base hit to left field that scored Tommy Edman in the 6th after he had doubled. Matt Carpenter is moved to the on deck circle. And Sosa on the first pitch, a high fly ball into deep right center. Gone! Edmundo Sosa, the first pitch in the bottom of the 8th. Some insurance for the Cardinals. Sosa his 3rd home run, and it's 6-3. The Nissan drive of the game.
Great swing right there. Got a breaking ball. He saw it. He stayed back. Look where his body's at. Back on that back leg. Tell you what, he's been back there all day waiting to catch a homer. I think you get a better effort out of that. Man, catch the ball. Go up there and get it.
There's Carpenter, the 11th hit for the Cardinals in this game. First pitch popped up and out of play.
Now, you're watching the game, and you're watching from a different angle and different perspective than I'm watching it from. Just obviously with both of our professions. When you watch that, or you watch an outfielder just run back there and kind of like
both
get stuck or just not do what you think he would want to do, what do you think? Like, I'm not getting on him at all. I'm just saying, like,
I thought he would have a shot to
at least or jump up on
close,
the wall,
yes.
or like want to go get it. It's almost like he got back there and didn't know what to do.
As you've been pointing out, as deep as they're playing too, it's not like he's full speed. I mean, you're going back, but you would think you got a little time maybe to plant the cleats in the
he's even deeper
wall
now. But
and go get it.
And I'm not picking on him. I just think it's I see it every day, and so it's in front of us right now, so I can talk about it. But I always wonder what a guy like you thinks about, because one, you're watching every day and you're seeing all these different type of outfielders, and especially when you see guys play deep, you think, oh, he's going to get a chance to get a home run here, and then you get that chance, and that ball literally was 4 feet over the fence, and it was just like,
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I thought he'd have a shot. You see it off the bat too, and you're thinking, does he have enough to carry it out of here?
And then you see the outfielder with him getting his read. Yeah.
It's good job by Card. You know, it's really funny. I love talking about my son's baseball team, but one of the kids the other day ran back on a ball, and I always talk about this. So you don't get too close to the fence so you don't get stuck. And he literally went to jump, and the ball literally went over the fence by a foot. And I said, you got stuck in the fence, huh? And he said, yeah. And Landon goes, you got to catch that.
Well,
I wonder where he got that from.
3-2 pitch. Hit out of play.
Card.
It's by design how the walls are here at Busch Stadium, so you do have a shot to make some of those plays.
And this is probably the tougher place to make those, because one, there's really it's a little bit higher than most. Two, it's really firm, and the outfield is a little bit spread out. It's more the style of Coors Field, where the gaps are pretty wide and big. You know, it's not like Old Busch is so round and perfect. You could, every angle you ran, the wall was in the same place.
Yeah.
And here you're going to have to go a little further in the corners and the gaps a little bit. It's kind of scary out there sometimes when you look around, and if you're standing in dead center field and you look to both bullpens, you think to yourself, wow, that's a long way. And it starts to kind of intimidate you.
Chris Bryant, by the way, is homered in his Giants debut.
Look at this. So all three
Baez of the
Cubs
Mets
have homered in their first game with their new teams.
Rizzo twice over the weekend with the Yankees. The pitch taken high, up and in by Dylan Carlson. It'll be a rise, Garver and Sano.
If you're
the Twins.
If you're a Cubs fan, are you a little upset to watch when you go home and watch the news tonight? Another guy hit a homer?
How can you not be?
Oh,
it's tough.
And let me guess.
And by the way, the crosstown rival just got one of the best closers too.
He's going to get a save tonight.
And then you turn on your TV on Tuesday night, and John Lester's wearing a Cardinal uniform.
Wee.
That's not easy for a fan base to swallow, I would think.
That's not easy for me to swallow watching. I can't even imagine. I mean, I would think too, if you're an owner that cares about your team, and I know that owner does, that ownership, and he's locked in obviously with all the stuff he's done around the stadium, you almost think you'd have to come out and say, hey everyone, we're in this kind of a situation and we can't do anything about it, so we're looking maybe to rebuild, like right now, you know, like after it's done. Because if you just kind of, you know, it's almost that same story about you watch the replay and the guy's safe and it looks like he's out and they just walk away, like, and you're like, what happened? Now as a Cubs fan, you're saying, what happened? What are we doing?
Well, the contracts were not staggered.
And you're not talking about, like, you know, a team that doesn't have a great fan base. They live and die with this.
Ripped out to right off the bat of Dylan Carlson and a ground rule double. It's a 3-hit day for Dylan and his second double. Runners at second and third with nobody out.
You know, you're not talking about a fan base that doesn't, you know, the Marlins, the A's, you know, these teams that don't have a massive fan base. You're talking about one of the biggest fan bases in the history of baseball.
Well, to my point earlier, too.
And they're diehards.
If you're not staggered with your contracts, and you have
right.
Baez, Bryant, Rizzo, it's tough to keep teams together.
I mean, that's, it's like, it's obviously easy for us to say, but when you get that much talent at one time, you can't turn them away.
Sure.
I think that's what made the Cardinals so special for so long, too, is look at the job that Walt Jocketty did, between 99 and 2002. But not only did he have great talent that was homegrown, he went and grabbed different guys at different ages and at different,
maybe he did that by design, maybe he got lucky, but different age groups, different teams, different contract statuses. I was really the only guy that needed to be upped, and he got some guys that just kind of came in and filled in, and then the Ankiels and the J.D. Drews and the McGuires were here. There were guys like that. It just worked out.
Into right field, shallow with nobody out. Carpenter trying to score, cut off by Sano, throw to third. They got him there.
I don't understand that right there.
When a run does score, you need to prevent outs much more than getting the double play on that. But that's what they get, and it's now a 7-3 St. Louis lead.
I guess that's a good play right there, because you think that the trail runner doesn't get as good a jump, but I got to believe you got to take a shot at the home plate.
Well, you're already down by 3.
He's out too, by the way, or pretty close to it.
You've got 3 outs of your own left, so you got to prevent the run.
Check out this replay, Danny, right here. That's a great play by Sano, don't get me wrong. But look at this angle we're looking at. When he catches this ball, see if we get back to it. Watch when Sano catches this ball. Look where the runner is. I don't think this ball's dying that much.
It's not even in your frame.
If that's a one hop to the plate, he's out.
Yep. And a strike to Nolan Arenado. Goldie drives in a run here in the bottom of the 8th. Cardinals have tacked on 2 more. Paul has driven in 2 today. And hit to the right side, and Arenado is the final out in the home half of the 8th. But the Cardinals pick up 2. And it's now a 7-3 St. Louis lead.
28,975 here today. Chance for Adam Wainwright to pick up win number 9, and the Cardinals a chance to win 2 of 3 in this interleague series with Minnesota. Adam Wainwright, that may be the key at bat in the game. That resulted in a throwing error. A run will score. He had 10 pitches in that at bat. Armando Sosa, a big day at the plate. On base 4 times, including a home run.
I'll tell you what, talk about that at bat with Wainwright. You look at that as the key, could be the key of the game in so many reasons, but the biggest key, put the ball in play. Put pressure on the defense. And then, oh, whoa, he hit 110 miles an hour also at the third baseman. So anytime you can put the ball in play with movement, you're going to get something to happen. And it's kind of why, like I said, even that bunt that he lays down with 2 strikes is a big play, because you're giving him an opportunity to just get people moving.
Luis Arraez to lead it off here in the 9th against Alex Reyes. The Cardinals leading 7-3. Alex pitched in Friday night's game. Cardinals trying to go to 1 game above 500 at 53 and 52 if they can hold on. And the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals have out-hit the Twins 12-6. Both clubs have committed an error, and it's a 7-3 St. Louis lead. Rise, the cleanup man, is hitless today, 0 for 3. The 1-1 pitch. Line to third for the first out.
I love it. He just doesn't even move. He's so calm.
Let's take a look at our Budweiser play of the game, and it's pitch by pitch. Adam Wainwright, Pineda, 10-pitch at bat.
Look how under control he is. He's trying to do everything he can. He's in a really good position. He's in the driver's seat, basically. He's getting fastballs to hit. That's the key. He's taking the breaking ball. And then he starts to speed up a little bit. This is where I got to go, maybe not. I got to try something different. And then he smokes a fastball right at the third baseman. Third baseman makes the play of the century, but yet throws the ball away, and that kills him.
Mitch Garver, 1 out, nobody on. 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. And a base hit to left, and then eventually scored on the single by Simmons. That gave the Twins a short-lived 2-0 lead. Line to left, O'Neill. Yes, he makes the catch. Tyler O'Neill.
Pickett. That's the play right there. You don't really want to dive. Can't tell if it's sinking. I love the reaction after. Watch this reaction after. This tells you this game's a little weird sometimes, right? So he catches it. He knows. He's like, everyone's, yeah. Where am I right now?
So 2 outs and nobody on. 7-3 our score. And Miguel Sano, the final hope for the Minnesota Twins. Pitch number 6 of the inning for Alex Reyes. Strike 1.
I like that you do not have to face Sano right here with a 1-run lead.
Big time. He doubled his first time up. 1 for 3. The 0-1 pitch. 0-2.
Twins down to their final strike. No balls. 2 strikes on Miguel Sano. The next by Reyes. Backs up for a ball. The 1-2. Check swing and got him. Game over. Cardinals win it 7-3. A 1-2-3 for Alex Reyes in the 9th inning. St. Louis back above 500. They're 53-52 with Atlanta coming to town on Tuesday.
What a game by Waino, huh? What a job right there by that man. Couldn't happen to a better kid, Alex Reyes. Nice job on both sides of the ball by the Cardinals. Fun game to watch today.
Erica Weston is standing by with the post-game show and a final of 7-3. Cardinals take 2 of 3 in the weekend series against the Minnesota Twins. Waino picks up win number 9. Solid win for St. Louis. Off day tomorrow. Post-game is next.